Oh, I walk home because they're everywhere.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to City of Greenfield City Council meeting, September 24th. All meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor White,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Rodriguez, Councilmember Martinez. Here. Councilmember Ortiz. Here. Councilmember Tipton.
Present.
Did we hear from Mayor Pro Tem? Okay. Excuse council member absences. This agenda item allows the city council to excuse the absence of council members not present at the meeting. If all council members are present, this agenda item will be skipped. Hear public comments on this item. Seeing none, I'll move city council comments and action.
I move to excuse her absence.
Do I have a second? I will second. Do a roll call vote on it, please.
Councilmember Tipton,
No.
Councilmember Ortiz. No. Councilmember Martinez.
Yes.
Mayor White.
Yes. Thank you very much. Invocation by Pastor Deanna Salinas, please.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you today for this beautiful day. And we just thank you for for everything that's on the agenda. We can let you lead them. We serve. We live peace, that there is mercy. Thank you.
Will you all please stand for the pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda review.
No changes, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Public comments from the audience regarding items not on the agenda. This portion of the agenda allows an individual the opportunity to address the council on any items not on closed session, consent calendar, public hearings, and city council business. Under state regulations, no action can be taken on non-agenda items, including issues raised under this agenda item. Members of the public should be aware of this when addressing council regarding items not specifically referenced on this agenda. Do we have any public comments tonight? Go ahead, Gabby.
Good evening, City Council. I have a question. I would like to know when are the lights from the new street that was built in 12th Street between Oak and Elm going to be turned on? I know that PG&E is supposed to, or the last contractor that was working on the street, they're the ones that have some work to do. Now that PG&E has done their part, when are the lights going to be turned on?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Seeing that, I'll move on to comments from City Council. Councilman Tipton.
Good evening. I'll start off with the fact that it's great to see the Chevron starting to open. It's open. Gas prices are a bit high, but I've gotten some good comments about the selection, and everybody's saying that it's nice. Next thing, I'm going to harp again on the dark clothing, particularly when crossing streets or with bicycling. As Councilmember Ortiz mentioned last time, we did have an incident where somebody was hit while crossing a street. I've seen a couple of near miss accidents with people crossing the street, particularly there on Walnut where they're running across from the farm worker housing to the AMPM or now to the Chevron, where they'll just dart across the street without looking and almost get hit. So please watch out for that. I'm wondering if, do we have plans going forward to put a crosswalk in at that location? I believe there was one on the original plans for the Walnut Avenue specific plan, but I don't know if that's still continuing in the light of the fact that the specific plan is kind of off the table right now. So again, watch out for people, watch out for your pets after dark as well, particularly in the light of the fact that we do apparently have some dogs roaming again, or some animals are getting killed in the middle of the night. So please watch out for your pets after dark as well. Four-way stops and speed limits and yield signs are not optional, particularly the traffic light there at 3rd and Walnut. I've seen people just flat run that stoplight to the point where the light is completely green for going down Walnut and people will come up on 3rd Street and just make the turn without even slowing down. So please watch out for that. I'm going to harp on parking again, particularly commercial vehicles. There's a lot of commercial vehicles being parked in our residential areas. And one of the things I've noticed and what the people have brought to my attention is they're parking on the corners of blocking the curb cutouts for wheelchairs. There's also quite a few of them that are actually parking across sidewalks. So maybe that's something we can get our CSOs and our officers to look at a little bit more closely when they're out and about, making sure that people are backed off from the corners and making sure that people aren't parking across the sidewalks. The air show is this weekend in Salinas. It should be a good time. Watch out for heavy traffic between here and Salinas during that time as well. I want to talk a little bit about the accident that occurred in Seaside the other day. It was a DUI accident. Somebody was apparently going 100+ miles per hour down Del Monte Avenue. Ended up rolling the vehicle, killing an unhoused gentleman in the middle of the street, as well as killing the driver. What makes it even worse is the driver was 19 years old and already on DUI probation when he did this. So please don't drink and drive. If you have to go out and you have to drink, please make sure you have a designated driver. I know Ubers down here are few and far between, but I know there are a handful of Ubers and things like that around here as well. There's also MST on call for at least a short little time left. And there are other ways to get around. Call a friend, call anybody else. Don't drink and drive. Hot conditions are continuing, although they are slacking off a little bit. Watch out for kids, pets, seniors, anybody else, anybody or anything else that really can't express that they're in discomfort or in pain. Please watch out for that. Please make sure you're being hydrated as well. And the last thing I have is, can we get an updated timeline on the EAH housing over there? It seems like they've been kind of stalled for a while because I haven't really seen much going on as I drive by it every morning and every afternoon. In addition, I'd like to see if we could get a tour of one of the units. I know Chris Lopez got one, so I'd like to see if the city council could get one as well. And I think that's all I've got.
All right, thank you very much. Councilwoman Martinez.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So I'm going to start off my comments by addressing the fact that I know at the last meeting, we had the same issue today where 2 council members did not want to excuse the absence. I mean, reality happens, and I know a lot of folks have been asking regarding why my intent of not seeking re-election, and this is the reason why. It's really hard to work with certain folks that continue to feel like this is a child game and not understand that we have families. I've been at this for almost 8 years, and up to this date, even though I'm no longer running, I still continue to get these ridiculous attacks. And I just think that, wow, no wonder I can't inspire anybody else to run for office if we're going to continue to have this behavior. And some folks that might be running for office, well, they are going to be used to that behavior. So kudos to them. But I've been really focusing on myself. Focusing as a mom, as a community member, as an activist that I am in my community and up and down the state doing amazing things. But I also want to remind folks that it doesn't matter how much you love something. And as tough as it gets, you need to focus on your health. You need to make your health a priority, because if you're not healthy, then nobody's going to be able to provide for you and your family. So keeping that in mind, that's where I've been trying to find myself. And it's interesting because we've had these discussions, and I think these discussions have even come up at several conferences. Council members do suffer from PTSD. And I just was a witness of this, going to the doctor and being diagnosed with PTSD. And that is the harsh reality that some of us as politicians are put through. And again, it's mostly on personal attacks, not so much on your policy making decisions, but that's just the sad reality in this world that we live in, and especially now with our federal elections coming, that is just even going to get worse. So kudos to those that are running and those that do want to remain in office. But after 8 years, I select my sanity. And so I really just want to make that clear for folks. So stop attacking me, stop hating on me, because I'm not going to be here after November. So have fun, enjoy your council seats, enjoy being people that love to pick on council members. I mean, do that on your own time, but just remember, karma, everything that you do and you put out to the universe, it comes right back to you. So make sure and wait for that. But with that being said, next month it's going to be Cancer Breast Awareness Month. And so I really want to remind the women in our community to really make sure that they go to their checkups. Being a 41-year-old, it was something new to me, having to go through my first mammogram. And for me, it is really exciting to be able to provide awareness and make it a conversation topic, not pretend that, oh, we don't want to talk about it. We shouldn't be talking about it. Why not? Why not talk about it now and wait until you have developed some sort of cancer? So right now is the perfect time. If you're 40 and older, make sure that you talk to your physicians. Make sure that you go and get your exam. I got my first exam today. I was completely scared, but it was not at all painful. And so I really want to thank the providers at Me Memorial Hospital who did an amazing job. But just reminding women out there in our communities, because we hear the huge rate of folks dealing with cancer in our communities. So just make sure that you get yourself checked. And with that, I also want to go ahead and congratulate our youth group. We do have a youth group in Greenfield of activists, future leaders of change. They just got recognized by many unions up and down the county this past Friday at the Monterey Bay Central Labor Council dinner. So they were recognized for their activism and co-sponsoring a bill that is currently still at the governor's desk. So kudos to the youth getting involved and actually taking charge and using their voices for good. I also want to thank Centro Binacional. So Dr. Martinez, she did provide an amazing conference this past Saturday, where I was able to participate in a panel along with other elected officials like Supervisor Lopez, staff from Robert Rivas's office, but just to really make sure that we understand the needs in our community when it comes to not just only housing, the wage death scenario that all of us have been hearing out in our communities, just the lack of programs in a lot of these communities, especially for our indigenous communities. So that's something that I really wanted to bring back. I know that we had talked about the conversation, and I know that, Mayor, you have been bringing proclamations back and forth whenever I would bring one forward. So if you could at least just have like monthly meetings with Dr. Martinez to continue that conversation and how we could advocate for our indigenous community in Greenfield, I would appreciate that. And then lastly, there is an immigration rights planning meeting. It's going to happen on October 11th. It's being put on by the folks in the Watsonville region, but they're also reaching out to Monterey County, Santa Cruz, and San Benito, because we know with this political climate, it is causing a lot of confusion, and people just need to really understand what's going on and also prepare for the best, but also prepare for the worst. And we do know that we have a population in Greenfield of community members that do need that support. And so I invite you all, if you have time, to participate in this meeting. But with that, that's it for me.
Very good. Thank you. Ortiz.
Good evening. Please bear with me. I'm not feeling that great. I went to visit the new store that we have on Walnut Avenue, and I met the owner. His name is Paul. Just to let you know, they are currently hiring for the Jamba Juice and the chicken, Chester's chicken. And so if you know anybody wants a job, they go out there and go and apply. They're giving out applications on the spot. Also, I wanted to talk to you about Patriot Park. It seems, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, I sent an email out regarding the events that are being held out there. I'm not sure if they're sanctioned. There was events again this weekend, and there's a lot of leftover alcohol containers. So as far as I knew, there was no drinking out there, but maybe things have changed. I think that we really need some clarification on what kind of events they can have out there, if they need to be permitted. Or, like I said, I'm not sure about the alcohol, but it's kind of hard for people to call in and complain. You know, they're not out there looking at people drinking. This is leftovers that are there after the events are over. So if we can get somebody to talk to us about that, that would be great at the next meeting. I'm looking for an update on the visitor center. I see movement out there, and I see a gate. If we could get an update on the timeline, that would be great. Also, I want to thank you, Jamie, for giving me that, giving us all that update on the MST. I was really concerned when Mayor Pro Tem Rodriguez talked about the on-call being discontinued at the end of the year. And I reached out to our city manager to find out what was going on with that. And Jamie was nice enough to give us an update on the MST. I got back into town from the other valley at 9:30 2 weeks ago, Saturday. And there was an on-call bus out there dropping residents off at 9:30 at night. So it's really important, you know, that we make sure that these services are available for our seniors and anybody else that needs the rides. I seen a social media post from the city of Gonzales, and I'm hoping that somebody can reach out to them. They're doing their hometown heroes banners, and they've got a whole they've got criteria on what can be up there, who can be up there, how much it costs, and we really need to get a move on that. I know that they did team up with the American Legion. Not sure what post it is though, but we really need to reach out to American Legion. We need to get moving on that so we can have something for next year. And lastly, our first meeting for a Day of Thanks dinner for Thanksgiving will be on Thursday at 5 p.m. here in City Chambers. It's strictly for, well, not strictly, but for volunteers, any civic groups that want to be involved in the event. And so again, it'll be Thursday at 5 o'clock here at City Chambers. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mayor Pro Tem?
Good evening. Before I make my comments, can I just ask, was there a motion for me to be excused because I was late today?
There's a motion, but it did not pass.
Thank you. I wasn't tuned in on Zoom. I was running a few minutes late, as those of you that are joining us know. I do work in Salinas. I was caught in traffic. I hope nobody sees that as a reflection of my commitment to this role because I am here. I am hopeful that if I were to have called and notified that I had an illness or something, that I would be excused, because I do only call when I'm going to be sick and let everybody know. That being said, I didn't call today because I was planning to do. Okay, music in the park event. I don't know. I didn't see too many people out there this time. I'm sad to say the attendance was lower than it was at the last event. It was pretty cold. We were all braving the cold out there as it got later and later. But I do encourage everybody to keep an eye on those events and attend. I really appreciate the partnership that's been forged there with Victor Garcia, who puts on those events, and all of our city staff, because they really make an effort to highlight local talent, and give an opportunity for our local talent to get up there and share their skills with us, and it's a good time. So I attended that last one, I believe it was last Friday. A lot of fun, and again, I encourage everybody to go out and experience that. MST, I do have some updates on that, as Councilmember Ortiz shared. Jamie did share an update with us on the council, but I would like to touch on that some more so that the public is all aware of everything going on with that. But we do have an item on the agenda for updates on the committee's law, so I'll go into that a little further. Lastly, I did make this request just with Mr. Wood in our weekly meetings, but I do just want to make sure it's on the record that I've requested that MST present at the October 22nd meeting, and I have spoken with MST staff about being here for that, and maybe they can co-present with our staff to make sure we're on the same page about meeting those timelines to not have a gap in services for our residents. And also, if we can get that council meeting recap up on our social media pages, that would be great. And that is all I have.
All right, thank you very much. I have a few things to remind everyone about the Harvest Festival. It's just a little over 3 weeks away, October 19th and 20th, a 2-day event. Promises to be bigger and better than ever. Include the car show, arts and crafts, lots of food vendors, live music. Please come out and enjoy. Remind everyone about their free tire recycling at all the landfills and transfer stations in Salinas, Gonzales, and King City. If you have old tires around, clean them out. It's free for all of September, less than a week to go there. I attended the senior social on the 18th. If you've never attended, this is a great event sponsored each month by the City of Greenfield and Meals on Wheels. It's open to all those 60 and over, great food, music and dancing, and a lot of socializing. And also free food boxes for everyone in attendance. It's nice to see everyone having such a great time. Great social event. People just are just very happy. I wanted to announce that Greenfield Rotary is holding a community yard sale November 23rd at the Memorial Hall. If you'd like to sell your items, please reach out to Shirley Gilliam or myself, so we can get you set up. So that's what I have. Thank you very much. All right, we'll move to consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered routine and may be approved by one action of the City Council unless a request for removal for discussion or explanation is received prior to the time council votes on the motion to adopt. I'll open public comments on the consent calendar. All right, entertain a motion, or does anyone want anything pulled or have any questions on consent? Have a motion to approve. Need a second?
I'll second.
Moved and second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Move to J1, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Greenfield adopting a revised salary schedule for the classification of public work custodial technician. Staff report, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This item is basically a revision of the salary schedule for the Public Works custodial technician. In looking at salaries of our neighboring cities, what we have been offering has not been attracting the kind of people that we necessarily want to make sure that we get hired. So you can see we also have been doing this a variety of ways. We could actually, well, we've had people contracting, we've had other public works people doing the job, and at this point, we're about a quarter of the way through the year. It makes sense for us to hire a custodian that's going to be doing the custodial work full time, and we just get it done. So that's my staff report.
Right.
Any questions?
I'll open it up for public comments on J1. Seeing no public comments, bring it back to council for questions, review and action. Comment. So basically, we've had this out and we've not haven't been able to fill the position. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
So and we did a salary survey and came up with, we could probably bump it up a little bit. And since we're a quarter of the way into the year, we did have it budgeted for the full year. We can cover this with existing funds. Existing budget.
Motion to approve. I need a second.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. J2, adopt a resolution of the City Council, City of Greenfield to approve a supplemental appropriation reduction of 5.9% to fiscal year 24-25 budget revenue and expense account for the Regional Early Action Planning .0 grant. Staff report, please.
Paul? You hit the button there.
Push the button, Paul.
There you go.
Thank you. This is really an update for our budget forecasting. We've been informed by AMBAG that the REAP grant that we received, this will be our second one, simply is being reduced because of the state budget condition by 5.9%. And that's all there is really to this issue. It's just to keep our budget straight.
Is there any public comments on J2? Seeing none, I will bring it back to council comments, review and action.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved in a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Right, J3, resolution of City Council, City of Greenfield accepting the interim dewatering unit site improvement project completed by La Finca Company. Staff report, please.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. The interim dewatering unit site work project was awarded to FLG Company in October 2020. And the project prepared a site at the existing wastewater treatment plant to support release dewatering adult practice dry sludge for the field. This project was necessary to comply with requirements from the water board, including all the time. Project did take a little bit longer to complete. As the contractor did have to wait for delivery and set up the special water well press to complete the contract. Project was deemed complete in August 2024. The project came in 8% under budget at $144,300. Cost savings were attributed to the following: staff providing construction management inspection and the consultant provided service, and limiting the contract change order. So there is a breakdown of costs attached, so you can see what the estimated original project costs were. Did have one change order in the amount of $3,000, and that was to in order to do one of the pumps. It had a very limited time. And to second interim dewatering site improvement project completed by Esposito with one change. If you look at your resolution, down at the bottom, under the now therefore be it resolved, number 2, currently wrote in contractor unit coding, so that would be.
Do we have any public comments on J3? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council for comments, review, and action.
I'll move approval.
Can I ask that your motion include the amendment that the Public Works Director stated?
I move approval as amended
Thank you.
by Jason.
Take a second. The moved in second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Move to K, brief reports on conferences, seminars, and meetings attended by mayor and city council. A, League of California Cities Monterey Bay Division. Report on that. Transportation Agency for Monterey County.
We had a meeting last August 28th. Unfortunately, I had to do my operating passion. I was sitting in the meeting and I had to leave. I did have a meeting today, a Zoom meeting today with Todd Nutt, the director. And so we just kind of went over different things, what they're working on. We spoke about the Highway 101, that it's in desperate need of closing down the left turn lanes to avoid more fatalities on there. We talked about them possibly, well, I think they will be doing 2 bypasses, one outside of Chular, headed north of Chular, and one just outside of Airport, south of Airport. A lot of this is due to the Amazon facility coming in also, because it's going to cause major problems over there. We have a meeting tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
Very good. Monterey Association of Monterey Bay Area Governments, that's me. We met on September 11th. We approved the Metropolitan Transportation Improvement Program. $1.63 billion in projects on that. 1.1 in Monterey County. Balances in Santa Cruz and San Benito County. Total of 52 projects in Monterey County. So it enables the area to receive federal and state funds to cover some of the Salinas Valley Solid Waste Authority.
That's me again. I attended the meeting via Zoom for Councilmember Tipton. Some of the things that they discussed were, hold on, let me know, long written down. Oh, they have a new building going up in King City. No, it's a new road in King City, and that they're going to address the road issue. So they're going to start paving over there. The road is pretty bad. A lot of people have been complaining about losing half of their undercarriage while driving out to to the dump. So that's one of the projects. It's approximately $1.9 million project that's going to happen. They also spoke about Gonzales Johnson Canyon. They're going to be redoing the entrance to that facility at a cost of about $3.1 million. And then Crazy Horse is going to get a new transfer facility. And actually, it's quite impressive when you look at the design of what they're going to build out there and how they're going to separate everything coming into the place. And that's at about $6.9 million. And really interesting reading, short, but very interesting on many things that they have coming up.
Great, thank you. Monterey Salinas Transit.
As I mentioned, we met, did I mention? I don't know. Here I was mentioning earlier. We had a special meeting actually this morning for MST regarding the SURF project. And that was just to officially receive the findings from the Coastal Commission, which has approved our appeal because our original request for that permit was denied. Myself and many other elected officials ended up spending what was a whole day on standby to speak at that hearing to speak in support of the project, which was approved and is going to be moving forward. That was on the 12th of September, and then we met today to receive the staff recommendations as a result of that ruling, and the project is going to move forward. Potentially we do have some persons in the community that are objecting to the project with the Coastal Commission, but we are very hopeful that it's going to move forward and it does meet all of the environmental requirements, the CEQA requirements, so we do expect that it's going to continue to move forward. The other important part of the MST stuff going on is about the circulars. we, we do have the communication from Jamie, and thank you for sending that to update all of council about what's happening with MST. I mentioned in the last meeting about the possible interruption in services if we don't have our circulars on track to be up when the year begins, because the on-call service will end on December 31st. In order for that to happen, what MSP has just been very clear about is that they need to have encroachment permits in hand in October in order for us to not have a gap in service. So that's what I've been communicating with City Manager Wood to make sure that we stay on track with that, so that we don't have our residents have that interruption in service. I did make that request for MST to be a presentation item on the October 22nd agenda. Michelle Obermeyer would be the person that would be presenting or co-presenting, so we could receive a more definitive, there won't be a gap in services, so here's what we'll be doing at the time of that presentation. And that's it, those are the highlights for MST.
All right, thank you very much. South Salinas Valley Broadband Authority.
We haven't had another meeting.
No, the only thing I was gonna add, that we can talk about at the mayor and manager meeting, is the change in general manager, as it were. So we've got a new general manager for the South Salinas Valley Broadband Authority. Monterey County Business Council, Paul Farmer, I believe, will be acting. And it's a good thing for all of the cities and Monterey County, because we each save $25,000. $125,000 for the whole group. And we should be represented very well. And I know that Paul has been coordinating with RCRC and the granting agencies related to boots on the ground, getting. That's positive.
Thank you. County Mayor's Association, they met on 9/6. I wasn't available for that meeting. I had COVID that week. So better now, but that was a break there for me, unfortunately. South Salinas Valley Mayors and Managers Group, we met yesterday. Paul just went over and stole up under there, but that's all right. We also talked about having a briefing on the voucher system coming up at our next meeting. So, the fact that there's been some problem and in the voucher system.
Taxi voucher.
Taxi voucher. Planning Commission.
There hasn't been one since the last meeting.
No.
Yes, there hasn't been a planning commission.
Okay, very good. All right, item L, adjourn to closed session.
City Council will adjourn to closed session to discuss pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D1, pursuant to existing litigation, the cases Andrew Sandoval versus City of Greenfield. I understand that Councilmember Tipton will be refusing this motion. Yes.
Okay, I'll open that item up for public comments.
Mayor White, I understand that Councilmember Tipton is going to refuse himself
Okay.
prior to public comment.
Public comments on this item? If not, we'll go to closed session. Call the meeting back to order. There was no reportable action taken in closed session.
Correct.
All right, city attorney report,
I have nothing to report.
city manager report,
Nothing to report.
and adjourn. Thank you very much for attending.